And this is the global forecast for August 23, brought to you by the wonderful people at AskTheAnswer.com, the UK's leading website for tarot readers, psychics, mystics, and channelers. We start the month with Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, and Venus going retrograde. And during this month, Mercury will go retrograde and Uranus will go retrograde. And at the start of next month, Jupiter will go retrograde. So, in 5 weeks from now, the only planet moving forward in the sky is going to be Mars. So when you've got so many planets going retrograde, what does this mean? It means that so far this year, this has been a pretty manic year for a lot of people, especially this last couple of weeks. But the more you get into this month, I suspect that for a large number of people, that the pace of life is going to slow down somewhat. There will still be big changes in the world, of course there will. But the way we individually react to them is going to change. And I think that for many of us, this is a month where of less about new actions, new decisions, and more of reassessment, reevaluation, more objective and detached and impersonal analysis, and asking ourselves, well, are my actions, do they flow with my own personal values and philosophies? Am I walking my talk? Am I behaving in a way that I'll be proud of in weeks, months, or even years to come? And I think that for many of us, this is a time of reassessment and reevaluation of our own personal criteria and the way we deal with things. It's much more a time of separating ourselves from the immediacy of the year so far. And there are certain trigger points here. For a start off, Mercury's going to go retrograde. This is going to happen on the 23rd, but we're going to enter the Mercury retrograde shadow on the 4th of September. So the 4th of September onwards is not a good time for making any radical changes, of course, for most of us. And this Mercury retrograde shadow will then continue, basically, right the way through to the end of September. So it's not a time for major changes now. Stick to your guns. You can make plans, you can change your mind. You can draw up blueprints and schedules, but don't take action until you get towards the end of September. Uranus is going to go retrograde, yes. Mars is going to move out of Virgo into Libra at the end of the month. And the last 4 days of this month are going to be perhaps more action-packed than the rest of the month put together. The full moon on the 1st of August in Aquarius is in a relatively gentle position. The new moon in Leo on the 16th of August, well, that's going to be strongly square Jupiter, and it's going to be conjunct retrograde Venus. So I do expect a lot of situations around the new moon on the 16th. So around the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, I expect a lot of short-term drama, and it will be drama. It won't be crisis, it will be drama. But many people will go, well, I'm not going to settle for drama, I want a crisis. So it'll go over the top, larger than life, mountains made out of molehills for 3 or 4 days around the new moon on the 16th. Then there's a full moon in Pisces on the 31st, conjunct Saturn. So I do expect that as we get towards the end of the month, there's going to be certain situations in the outside world at the large scale that are going to become a lot more definitive, where things will become yes, no, black, white. This is working, this isn't working. Let's let go of this and stop this, or let's push this forward. But all of this is external world stuff. For most of us, internally, personally, this is a time of retrospect and reassessment. If the planet were one person and they were my client, I'd be saying that as far as August 2023 goes, planet, the outside world's going to continue ticking on, and there's always going to be hotheads who are going to escalate situations, particularly around the new moon. But for individuals, my advice is clear. Walk away, don't let your buttons get pushed, reassess, and then you can deal with situations in a much more calmer and objective way. Have an objective, detached, impersonal month.